You're in your car right now. Listen carefully to me if you are in your car right now. First of all, the New York State Thruway is closed from Syracuse to the Pennsylvania state line, which means any attempt to get on the Niagara section of the Thruway will meet with complete futility. You will be stuck for the night if you try to get on the Niagara section of the Thruway. If you are already on the Niagara section of the Thruway, stay in your car. There are people trying to reach you. Police are trying to reach you with snowmobiles and with cars and whatever if they can move, but or on foot. But don't panic, okay? If you're afraid, it's okay. Listen, if I was out there, I'd be afraid too. Being afraid is a normal human emotion. Being panicky is not a normal human emotion, and it's something that you can control. And if everybody panics, there's going to be some serious problems, and maybe some people aren't going to come back. So the best thing to do is just sit there, compose yourself, and relax. There are people on the job. It may look pretty bleak right now. If you're going to leave your motor running, make sure that you watch out for carbon monoxide poisoning. Leave your window open a crack to get some fresh air in. If you feel tired or nauseous or you smell exhaust gases, open your window. But just relax. And there are people whose job it is to get to you. It's going to take a while. You're going to be out there for a while. It's going to be a story you're going to tell your grandchildren, but you're going to make it.
Starting Monday, you'll have your chance to win from KBN Purchase Radio. It's the Electronic Tennis Championships, and starting Monday from 6 to 9, you're invited to all 3 Purchase Radio locations to practice and play to qualify.
Third shift on Sunday night, at which time normal operations will resume. All skilled trades and material department employees who have been scheduled to work on Saturday are asked to report if at all possible. Okay, it's 5 o'clock, 93 WBEN, Buffalo.
This is WBEN Radio News. I'm Lou Douglas. A blizzard paralyzes western New York. Motorists are stranded and traffic grinds to a halt. And the Senate begins debate on natural gas emergency legislation. These and other top stories of the hour on WBEN Radio News. Most of the Buffalo area is paralyzed after blizzard conditions whipped through the area shortly before noon today. Strong winds are continuing to whip up blizzard conditions, and blowing and drifting snow has produced numerous whiteouts. Traffic has ground to a halt. Numerous traffic accidents are reported all over western New York, and hundreds of motorists have abandoned their automobiles to search for emergency shelter. Grand Island at this time continues to be marooned, with both the north and south bridges closed down. Motorists at this time are stranded on the bridges in their cars. Also, the New York State Thruway has been shut down from Syracuse to the Pennsylvania state line, as well as the entire Niagara section of the New York State Thruway. Fire halls and police stations throughout the area are offering refuge to stranded motorists, and authorities are urging residents to open up their doors to helpless travelers. Numerous suburban areas around Buffalo have declared snow emergencies. The heavy snowfall appears to be over as far as the storm is concerned right now, but the Buffalo meteorologist George Parrish says the problems resulting from it will continue.
Well, it's not even snowing now. There's no snow falling from the sky. It's all blowing, all snow that fell and blowing around. The problem is the high winds.
How high are the winds?
Well, we've had gusts to 65 miles an hour at Buffalo Airport. Niagara Falls has had gusts to 75 miles an hour. We're expecting them to abate sometime after midnight, but they will remain strong through the weekend.
The official Buffalo temperature has edged below zero and will remain near that mark through Sunday. Efforts to clear the snow-clogged streets of Buffalo have virtually ground to a halt. The streets commissioner, James Lindner, reports the situation as serious.
We're at a standstill. We've got a monumental traffic jam throughout the city. Ostensibly, all the merchants downtown and all the business managers allowed their people to go home at the same time, it appears. We've got people in the street, but they're not really accomplishing what we'd like them to do. Right now, we have the Department of Transportation in the garage servicing their equipment. My second trick is in the garage servicing their equipment, and we're not going out to list subsides because, at least until the traffic's down, because we can't do anything.
Mr. Lindner says the National Guard is still scheduled to begin assisting the state and city plowing crews on Monday. Attempts to airlift the first National Guard equipment into Buffalo today failed when the weather forced the plane to divert from Niagara Falls to Schenectady. All around Buffalo, workers have been stranded in their places of business because of the storm. One stranded worker at the Thruway Plaza in the town of Cheektowaga, Bert Wagner, tells WBEN Radio News.
The Thruway Plaza is snowed right in. We cannot get up on Broadway, or we can't get over to Walden, can't get to Harlem. So there's going to be a lot of people staying here, at least until the storm lets up a little bit. So if anyone is worried about their people or that work out this way, they should know they're here at the plaza.
Stranded worker Bert Wagner. Among those marooned by the storm was WBEN reporter Marty Gleason, who telephoned from the Cheektowaga Highway garage on Union Road. Marty talked to another person marooned there, Isabel Bodner of Williamsville, an employee of American Standard.
I left the office at 1:45, and I've been here since 3 o'clock. And I want to express my appreciation to the superintendent of the highway department who sent the men out to the car to guide us back here. They're serving us coffee, and it's just wonderful.
What kind of storm has this been for you?
It's the worst that I can remember. I was never stranded before in my life.
Isabel Bodner of Williamsville. Meanwhile, at the Greater Buffalo International Airport, no flights are coming in or out at this hour since visibility is near zero. And this just in, the New York State Thruway has now been closed from Amsterdam, 30 miles west of Albany, to the Pennsylvania state line. The Thruway Authority says that blowing and drifting snow has forced the closing of the superhighway. Now a 323-mile stretch of the Thruway is closed down. The Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation reports that 5,000 customers over a wide area of the Niagara Frontier and Genesee County are now without power. All crews are out and attempting to get to the problem areas. The utility asks that only customers without electric service call. All other calls should be held off until the first of the week. The U.S. Telephone Company officials are urging area residents to avoid using the telephone for social calls. Spokesman James Rhodes said that the phones should be used for emergencies only until the storm abates. New York State Electric and Gas in Lockport is appealing to all commercial and public customers in Erie, Niagara County, and Orleans County to further curtail the use of natural gas. New York State Electric and Gas has requested that natural gas consumption be reduced to a minimum of 50%. The latest problem developed after the Brooklyn Union Gas Company canceled the contract for gas they planned on supplying to New York State Electric and Gas. Brooklyn Union claims they now need the fuel for their own purposes. WBEN News Time, 6 minutes past 5 o'clock.
At Pavilion, some buses are out returning children to their homes. They say the conditions aren't as bad at Pavilion as elsewhere. Other children are being held at the school. Pavilion is also described as okay. Taking a look at both conditions, city police ask that there be no driving at all. The police want you to stay where you are. The streets are in quote miserable condition.
Welcome now to listen to both here for the talk show time. This is one of the weeks. Here at 5 is the treasurer to Buffalo, Elvino Pudico.
Who's stranded in the area. There are 60 cars stalled at the William and Fillmore area. Stay away from that. Let's see, all 7 AM&A stores will be closed tomorrow. And the New York State Thruway between Amsterdam and the Pennsylvania line. The New York State Thruway, in other words, our Thruway, for everybody who can hear my voice right now, for all intents and purposes, the Thruway is closed. The New York State Thruway is closed. Now, here's the important part. The Niagara section is closed. The state police have reported that along the Niagara section, there may be entrances that look like you can get on it and get away with it. The fact is, you cannot. If you get on the Niagara section of the Thruway, pal, you're on it for the duration, because you are not going to get off. Now, those of you who are on the Niagara Thruway, or section of the Thruway right now, state troopers and other law officers are attempting to rescue you, and they will. There are some injured motorists. They're going to help them first. All I can tell you is, if you are stranded in your car, remain calm. If you let yourself panic, there's a chance you could get killed out there. And I don't want to make you panic, but that's the truth. So So the thing to do is to arrest your fear. It's normal to be afraid. Don't worry about that. I'd be afraid if I was out there, too. I'm here, and I'm afraid. I look outside that window and go, yay. Well, look, just relax, okay? There are people out there. Their job is to get to you and to rescue you, and it's going to happen, okay? You're going to be all right. Just relax. Make sure you don't, if you feel like you're smelling carbon monoxide, well, carbon monoxide doesn't have a smell, but it usually comes along with other automotive fumes. So if you start smelling fumes, make sure you open your window, get some fresh air in there. Watch out for that. Watch out for frostbite. Keep your radio on KB and relax, because we're going to get you out of there. Just relax. The entire town of Cheektowaga is shut down. And well, the entire town of Cheektowaga has been shut down for years. No, the entire town of Cheektowaga is shut down and isolated by the storm. All residents of Western New York must stay indoors. That's it. Nobody is allowed out unless it's an emergency. Okay? And KB Radio News will have an expanded news report, a wrap-up of everything that's going on at 5:45. That's exactly 35 minutes from right now, and I'll also have a complete list of schools that will be closed on Monday.
This week at Cabbages, all the hottest hits are on Super Sale. Listen, now at $3.99, Gary Wright, Light of Smile. Manfred Mann, Blinded by the Light. Leon Redbone, Double Time. Rod Stewart's Tonight's the Night. $3.99 for ABBA featuring Dancing Emmylou Harris, Luxury Liner. King Lavani, Imaginary Voice. $3.99 for the Ohio Players' Greatest Genesis, Wind and Wuthering. And on and on. $3.99 for the hottest hits. Plus, now in stock, the new David Bowie, Low. A $7.98 list, now just $4.99 at Cabbages. Plus Streisand and Christopherson, A Star is Born, an $8.98 list, now $5.99. These are but a few of the specials this week at Cabbages. If there isn't a Cabbages near you, get moving! No matter where you live, you can have a...
All right, that was part one of side one of the Reel to Reel tape. So stay tuned for part two.